Well, now in this video is obviously discussing on question 6. It's another question on our functions. Basipu f of x, which is a hyperbolic function. Basipano g of x, which is a straight line function. This question is available from this November 2016 question paper. Well, on the previous question, question 5. Question 5 was over. Wanna check out the description box of this video. Question 5. It was a question on a parabola only, right? Sometimes it happens bakupe only one function. Sometimes would totally about two, right? So as I've mentioned on the previous video, sometimes bakupha wona i2, sometimes bakupha yona i1. But if it's one function abakuphe yona, it just makes life a whole lot easier. So lana question 6, but the diagram below shows the graph of f of x and g of x. The graph of f intersects the x-axis at A and the y-axis at B. The graph of f and g intersect at points C and D. So now lana ud we see points of intersections between graph G as well as graph F. Now B, now A, which A yini x-intercept and then B y-intercept kabani ka B. 6.1. But write down the equations of the asymptotes of f. 6.1, this is f of x, right? Now f of x, wait. F of x is equal to 1 over x plus 3 minus 1. This point is called a horizontal asymptote, or let me say this value, this number, this constant is the horizontal asymptote, which is y equal to minus 1 is the horizontal asymptote. And then now this one, which is the vertical asymptote. The vertical asymptote, the x plus 3, the denominator of that fraction, x plus 3, is the vertical asymptote. The horizontal asymptote is y equal to minus 1. And then it's x plus 3. The x plus 3, now we equate to 0, then you solve for x. X is equal to minus 3 is the vertical asymptote. So the x equal to minus 3. X equal to minus 3, it's this line. You represent this line. And then the y equal to minus 1. You represent this line, the horizontal asymptote. Right? So these are the asymptotes of f. Yes? Yes? Haha. Okay. 6.2. Determine the domain of f. So f or graph f is the hyperbolic graph, right? So now we need domain for a hyperbolic function. You just say x element of real number. So the function, we know that the domain is the set of all valid x values in the given function. So lana baspuza f, what is the domain for graph f? So the graph f stretches all the way to infinity to the right, and then it also stretches all the way to infinity to the left. Now if you domain, you just check the x-axis. If you want a range, you check the y-axis, the y-axis, and then you just follow the graph. Is okay, I'm valid on such points and then invalid on such points. The graph is valid from to positive infinity and negative infinity, but figure la kule asymptote, the graph breaks. So that's why x is element of real numbers, meaning all the positive values as well as all the negative values, except for x equal to 3. The x equal to 3 is excluded. Your wonke numbers are valid. Your wonke real numbers are valid for the domain except for ubani negative 3. the reason why x equal to -3 is excluded is because of we asymptote, and an asymptote is defined as a point where the graph approaches but never touches, right? So this is the domain. So next time nabokubuza bathi what is the domain of this hyperbolic function, when uvele uthi x element of real numbers except for any vertical asymptote yam. What's the range for a domain? The range for the domain is y element of real numbers except for any, except for the y equal to -1, or except for the horizontal asymptote. 6.3 bafunani ke la. Calculate the length of, calculate the length of, let's see, calculate the length of OB. Second question, OA. So 6.3.1 but is calculate to OB, 6.3.2 but is calculate to OA. Now okay, let's see. 6.3.1 is for OB, right? And the OB now, it's the point from O to Bani to B, right? And then the distance from O, or the length from O to B, is equal or the same as the y-intercept of F. From O all the way up to B. Sithola ini? Sithola the length from O to B, which is what? Is the length of the y-intercept. And so the y-intercept of F, it's this point. The y-intercept of F, it's this point, right? It's B. It's B. Yes, it's B. So nasingathola y-intercept ka F, sizothola the length OB. So we let x to be equal to 0, and then where there's x ku F ngifaka ubani 0. So therefore in this equation ngifaka 0, then ngithola this 1 over x plus 3 minus 1, and then nangipuncha in the calculator, or just by calculating 3 times -1, it's -3, 1 minus -3, that's -2. So f of 0 is equal to -2 over 3, or y is equal to -3, or y is equal to -3. Therefore it means that OB, our OB is equal to 2 over 3. Check out the difference la. Lana it's a -2 over 3, and then the OB lana it's a positive 2 over 3 units. Length, the word length la is the key word. Length is always positive, right? So that's why Ngisu said the negative sign ngapala a positive value instead. Now sesiyaku 6.3.2, but I won't have enough space to do the calculation, so ngizo eraser. Okay, now 6.3.2, so calculating length ka OA. So it's from this point O all the way up to A, and then the distance from O to A is the same as the x-intercept for F. So sizothi ke thina since OA is the same as the x-intercept, so calculate the x-intercept of F, right? So we let y to be equal to 0 where there's y nyofaka ubani u0, or where there's f of x nyofaka u0. So the equation becomes 0 equal to 1 over x plus 3. Then you simply you solve for x. Later it's an example of an equation with a fraction, right? So into okuqala engayenza la, it's either I can go ahead and say let me find the LCD and multiply every term ekhona la, or I can just do this, transpose 1, I figure out a positive, or I can transpose this fraction on the left hand side. It doesn't matter, but mina I like working with positive numbers, so that's why in transpose are the -1. Now I figure about +1, and then I divide the left hand side by 1 so that I can create a fraction so that I can cross multiply. so that I can cross multiply. After cross multiplication, 1 times x plus 3 is x plus 3. 1 times 1 is 1. So I'll end up with something efana nalena. So then we solve for x. And then the x is equal to negative 2. So this is our answer, negative 2. But therefore OA, since we calculated length OA, therefore the OA is equal to 2 units, Now 6.4 but is calculated in gela. 6.4, determine the coordinates of C and D. The coordinates for C and D, nangu C, nangu D, nangu C, nangu D. C and D are my points of intersection between F nobani no G. These are the points of intersection. So we need to simplify or solve lama equations simultaneously so that we can find our coordinates ka C no D. Now lana atin erase again so that we can do 6.4. Now 6.4 lana ke sifuna ama coordinates ka C no D, right? At point C and point D, it's where the graphs are both equal, right? It's where they meet. So at C and D the graphs are equal. Therefore f of x uzolingana no g of x, right? Uzolingana no g of x. F of x uzolingana no g of x. Now we substitute lama equations wakhona. Where there's f of x ngifaka equation yakhona, where there's g of x ngifaka equation yakhona. Therefore I end up with something like this. But I don't like the fraction nangabe iso, especially in a case, noma I simplify so it's still fine, but ngifuna ukumanipulate the right hand side so that uzobona something la. So 1 over x plus 3 minus 1 is equal to x over 2. This 1 over 2x is the same as saying x over 2, right? X over 2. So uma iso iba much better kanje, so right? Izoba much better na iso. But if ever uyayibona le fraction lena, or uyakhona ukudila nayo le fraction lena, you can ungayisimplify, right? Ungayisimplify, but I think uma iso izonginikeza a way you explain much better. So now lana, so this is an equation with a fraction, right? An equation with a fraction. So lana I cannot do the same thing engiyenzile on the previous question where bengifuna i-length ka OA, where I had actually lana on the previous question we had 0 on the left hand side, and then this was on the right hand side. Then I transpose the 1 so that kube a number equal to a fraction. But lana nyesikhono kuyenza that cross multiplication thing there. Instead sizodinga an LCM for this type of equation. So the LCM is equal to 2 times x in bracket x plus 3, right? So basically ngithethe lama denominators lawa ngawayenza ini i-LCM yam. So then ngithatha i-LCM yam, which is 2 x plus 3, you multiply each and every term a corner in this equation. Minus 1 times 2 x plus 3 equal to x over 2 times 2 x plus 3. This is cancelana na this. Salo 2 times alo 1 about 2 minus 1 times this 2 in bracket x plus 3 about 2 x plus 3 equal to this 2 cancelana na this 2 salo x nalo x plus 3, right? Then we simplify, it's just basic algebra. So it's 2x minus 2x minus 6 equal to x squared plus 3x. Wow. Now what's this? Says in a quadratic equation. But let's simplify the left hand side before we transpose. About minus 4 minus 2x equal to x squared plus 3x. 0 is equal to, then sing a transposer, plus 3x plus 2x plus 4. 0 is equal to x squared plus 5x plus 4. Therefore, from this point ke ungavela usebenzise i-quadratic formula. If awuyithanda the quadratic formula, just find my factors using the factoring method or completing the square. 4 1 plus okay, all right, wait uma seyisona, because the x ka-c must be a interesting. Okay, yeah, you're right. I'm confused why lelo kanje le ile axis le, the asymptote for this hyperbolic function. I thought this system, this is the first quad, second quad, third quad, but the true axis, it's this one, it's yx, right? Yx. So if this point C was in the first quadrant, it has to C bekomele abe na positive x value, and then this D abe a negative x value. Since that's not the case, it means C not D boy 2 bazoba nama x coordinates are negative, since both C not D spathola kuphi ku third quadrant in the true axis. This is the y-axis, x-axis, and then this is also the y and the x-axis part for the hyperbolic function. But the true one, no, it's this one. So this value is over negative, this x value got c over negative, now this x value got d is over negative. Therefore x now over equal to -1, which is the x coordinate for C, or x is equal to -4, which is the x coordinate for bani, for D. Therefore now bese ngifuna the y coordinate ke yaga C no D. I just go back and substitute in either G or F, but how about we just use G, since it's the simplest one. Y was over equal to 1 over 2. For the negative one is over equal to -1 over 2, and then the y for the x equal to -4, and then the answer is about -2. Therefore the coordinates for C, it's -1 over 2, and then with D it's -2. Wait, uyaganga manje, wenzani manje? -4 -2. So these are the coordinates for C and D. Now for the other question, which is the last question for this. Okay, 6.5. Use the graphs to obtain the solution to okay, for 6.5 let's do this. 6.5, sifuna solution for this equation, 81 over x plus 3 x plus 2 over 2, right? So well, bafuna ukwazi ukuthi we need to give a solution where f are greater than g, but uma iso, it doesn't say find a solution where f are greater than g. So I need to do some manipulation ekuqala ezokhombisa ukuthi in fact this statement says I want a solution for I want a solution where g are greater than bani than g. Bheka, this is a part of graph f, right? Naila yabona nangu 1 over x plus 3, but kusho to bani, kusho to negative 1, kusho to negative 1, and then the g is simply 1 over 2 x or x over 2. Siyala, let's go back. Bheka ke manje, we need to do some manipulation la. X plus 3 greater or equal to x over 2 plus 2 over 2, right? Plus 2 over 2. This 2 divide lo x and then lo 2 abuya divide lo 2 lo, right? It's sort of like a rule or a principle involve ama fraction where you have a binomial ku numerator yakho, and then good denominator you just have one term. You can take that term, the denominator, divide each term on the numerator, so which is something engiyenzile ke la. 1 over x plus 3 greater or equal to x over 2 plus 2 over 2 is what? It's 1, right? It's 1. Therefore, saying transpose alo 1, ngiba nani? Ngiba no x plus 3 minus 1 la, greater or equal to x over 2. Voila, na ile nto bengisho ukuthi sifuna a solution where f of x are greater than g of x, but I have to do some manipulation ekuqala. The manipulation was this, and so that things approach a low 1, and then ngimlethe to the left so that things obona ukuthi kuphi ke lapho. Now we want a solution for f of x greater or equal to g of x, right? In other words, bafuna ukwazi ukuthi imapha ama x values azowenza lo f of x ukuthi abe greater than g of x. In other words, athi ngibeke so ke graphically, so bathi yikuphi la actually I have two functions la, yikuphi la g, I mean f angaphezu kwaka g, g. Okay, lana ke bheka ke manje, it's what sifuna ukwazi ukuthi kuphi la f of x are bigger than, or kuphi la f of x angaphezulu kwaka g of x. Let's go back to the equation. Now, imaphi lawo ma parts of the of the sketch where f angaphezulu and then g angaphansi. Lana siyabona ukuthi okay, now mawuthatha ukubheka la, if uthatha ukubheka la this part yaka f ingaphezulu, and then lana g ukuphi ungaphansi, and then f ungaphezulu, g ukuphi ungaphansi la, uyabona? So from this point lana until isifike to this point, f uba ngaphezulu, g abe kuphi ngaphansi. If ever ngiya to the right again, f uba ngaphansi and then g uba ngaphezulu, which is something esingayifuni. Sifuna la f angaphezulu, g akuphi angaphansi. And then if ngisuka from this point, right, from this point until ngize ngifike la kule point of intersection, ngiyabona ukuthi f ungaphezulu, g ungaphansi, right? F ungaphezulu, g ungaphansi, which is something esifunayo. And then if ever ngiyajumpa or I go beyond the point ka C, the point of intersection ka C, ngiya to the right, u-g uba ngaphezulu and then u-f uba ngaphansi, which is something engayifuni. So it's only two parts. It's from la to la, u-f uphezulu, u-g ungaphansi, from la to la, u-f ukuphi ungaphezulu, u-g ukuphi ungaphansi, right? So ama solutions wethu are somewhere la. right? But isifuna lawo ma x values ayenza ukuthi u-f abe ngaphezulu and then u-g abe kuphi ngaphansi. Bheka ke manje, this is the point of intersection. Angisho u-c, the point of intersection ka-c ubani? U-negative 1 no negative 1 over 2, and then u-d it's negative 4 and then negative 2, right? So ngiyawabhala lama coordinates because yiwo azosinceda ukuthi sithole isolution yethu la, right? Now bheka ke manje, bheka okay, bheka ke. So lana u-f ungaphezulu u-g abe ngaphansi. It's from where? Asho igraph yethu ya extend la to negative infinity, as well as this one here to negative infinity along the x-axis. So it means that for this range, or for this part of the graph, it's negative infinity excluded, to negative 4 included. Siyam include u-4 siyam include ngoba la lama graphs are equal. Angisho they are equal. Remember sitheni sifuna la u-f of x a greater or angaphezulu kwaka g or abe equal. So that's why ngi-include lo 4 lana. Bese mhlambe singathini futhi or from kuphi, from la ku negative 3, right? Negative 3 the graph yenzani ifuna ukuya ngapha but angeke ikhona ukudlula kulo x equal to minus 3, which is this vertical asymptote, right? Le graph ifuna ukuya ngapha but angeke i-cross this line le, right? So size i-range yethu isuka from kuphi la all the way up to la, where u-f angaphezulu and then u-g akuphi angaphansi. It's between which range? It's between le range le negative 3 siyam exclude, right? That's why ngithi igraph yethu ifuna ukuya ngapha ku-3, right? Ifuna ukuya ngapha kule asymptote but it never approaches it, right? So sithi negative 3, right? The negative 3 is excluded since it's a asymptote. Whenever u-x au negative 3 to negative 1, which is the x coordinate for point of intersection c, minus 1 included. Lana the graphs are equal. Whenever x are equal to minus 1, ama graphs wethu aba equal. Whenever x wethu aba equal to minus 4, the graphs become equal. So therefore the range is uqala la ku negative 3 all the way up to negative 1. So from negative 3 to negative 1 ubani u-f uba phezulu and then u-g abe kuphi ngaphansi. So the range kuzoba u-negative infinity, right? Negative infinity to minus 4 or negative 3 to minus 1. So this is the last question for question 6. Sometimes kuba difficult just explaining ama concepts afana nalawo, especially kuma functions where bathi determine the part of the graph or find ama x values ayenza ukuthi the part of the graph ibe maybe u-g of x abe less than or equal to f of x, something like that nje, which is a question oyithola on the last question of ama functions, especially nangabe bakusketchele yona i-function kanje. So where komele ubhale ama-range and stuff like that nje aba difficult nyana nje ukwa explain. So I hope you got something from 6.5. So for now question 6 wethu phelela lana. In the description box check it out, uzothola amanye ama-links for other questions engwaphendulile for this question paper. Ungakhohlwa ukulike, ungakhohlwa ukushare nabangani bakho, ungakhohlwa ukusubscribe nangabe new to this channel. Nangabe une question, let us talk in the comment section. So for now, bye bye.